Yo, what's good YouTube? Zamcrow here, aka Scoot, back with the Pokemon Battle Federation Season 5, week number 4 that we have finally got to make up. So it basically went week 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and now we finally have 4. So all the information about our teams can be found in the Prep Talk video if you want to go check that out. But yeah, he brings a pretty threatening squad. Basically, it's most of what I expected. Maybe didn't expect the Mega Aggron, but like I said, I did have the Crobat and the Bulu, so he might have been more inclined to bring it. And it makes a little bit of sense since he does have the Donphan and the Chestnut and the Primarina, which Tapu Bulu can run through with the right coverage moves, which is important. He brings the Donphan, so he does have Rapid Spin support for Volcarona potentially, while being able to set up his own rocks. Potentially Mega Aggron could be rocks, so he does have 2 potential rockers. Chestnut could have spikes potentially. Primarina and Alakazam could both just be like Expert Belt or Life Orb or Choice Specs or something, and just click respective stab. Volcarona, Mega Aggron could be setup mons with Curse and Quiver Dance. This is what I'm fearing the most, is them, you know, Primarina and Alakazam. What I'm saying right now is what I fear the most. It's not what he could be, because he could be anything, you know what I'm saying? I could go on and on and on about what he could be. What I'm saying right now is what he could be that I fear the most. Anyways, I figured that he would probably lead Donphan since I have the Crobat and the Charizard that I could lead with, and potentially even a Fortress Hazard Stack lead that I could lead with, and he could potentially have something like Natural Gift, Fire, or something like that. But then there was another potential, like he might think I'm going to lead off with Frostlass, he might lead Mega Aggron. But in both of those cases, my best lead was Suicune, so I'm going to lead Suicune and see what kind of matchup lead I can get here. Got to put this on normal real quick. There we go. And I'm going to go for Toxic as he leads with the Primarina, and I miss. And he gets a special attack drop. So as you can see already, Primarina was my downfall in week 2 because it crit me twice back to back when I was set up with both mons in front of it. Guaranteed to live any one hit from a leftovers variant. Anyways, this is not that big of a deal because I can click Toxic on this turn and then click Protect and get a little bit of HP back, and maybe see if he's locked into Moonblast and kind of gauge his damage here. I know he's not Specs because he wasn't Specs damage, but let's see here. So I'm going to go for the Toxic here and poison him, but I missed again. That's okay. Is it? He gets the Moonblast special attack drop again. So I missed both my Toxics. He lands both of his Moonblast, which they're 100% accurate, but he gets both 10% special attack drops. I think it's 10%. It might be 30% actually. I actually think it is 30%. But even so, I'm missing Toxic twice, and he gets 2 special attack drops. That's crazy for the first 2 turns alone. But he certainly acknowledges that. We didn't mention restarting or anything because, like I said, it's not that big of a deal. And hey, if I lose, I got an out. Just kidding. So he goes into Alakazam as I click Protect. I had to click Protect there because I couldn't afford to get really, really low, and I needed some HP back. Then I was going to switch out regardless. Here he goes into Alakazam. Like I said, I want to Protect. I'm just going to hard switch out into Fortress as he hard switches out of Alakazam. So I'm expecting him to not have Hidden Power Fire, and I doubled into Crobat just in case he did have Hidden Power Fire, and it covered the Volcarona play as well as the Chestnut play. So I was fine with that. And like I said, if he did take the Hidden Power Fire, I live that too. Now here, I'm a Crobat. 100% can knock this Volcarona out unless it's Focus Sash. My opponent should know that, and he should know that he needs to switch out into Donphan or Mega Aggron to take this Brave Bird. So, knowing that he has 2 counters, my play is to click U-turn. And I'm assuming my opponent also knows that, given his rise of skill as of late. I can tell from this battle and from a lot of his replays online that he is a lot better than he was last season. Last season he was a coach of a different team. I forgot what, Seattle Thunderbirds, I think. But yeah, now he's back and he's coaching a different team. Skill level much higher, and I'm going to predict him to predict me here, and I'm going to stay in, and I'm not going to click U-turn. I'm going to predict him to predict me to click U-turn, and I'm going to click the Brave Bird. So if he thinks I'm going to click U-turn predicting his Aggron, he's more than likely going to stay in and try to attack me and potentially get a flame body off. So I'm going to click Brave Bird here, and if he does go into Aggron, it's not the end of the world because I can switch out. But my opponent does predict me to go for the U-turn. I get a critical hit, but it didn't matter. I was life for Brave Bird. Max attack. He does get the burn, and this does matter actually. Otherwise, I could click Cross Poison here and still be in a decent position. Still threaten the Chestnut later. Would be at higher HP for things like Donphan and Mega Aggron. You'll see why later that it didn't really matter for Alakazam. But yeah, so he brings his Primarina in here, but no reason for me to let Crobat go down yet. I can potentially use him later. Heat Wave still hits Chestnut, Donphan, and Mega Aggron. So I can just go into Suicune here, take nothing. And here I'm going to click Scald, predicting him to go into Alakazam on my Toxic. Says he would be Magic Guard and the Toxic wouldn't affect him. And he couldn't be paralyzed later. Like, if in my team, my prep talk video, I talked a lot about Toxic Spikes in this match and how they help out a lot against Chestnut, Primarina, and Volcarona, but they hurt me against Alakazam and Donphan. That was one of the reasons I didn't lead with Foragers and get my Toxic Spikes up right away, is because he could take advantage of that and go into his Alakazam knowing that he is toxic, but I mean, he is poison, but it literally does no damage to him and prevents him from being paralyzed, which is actually a good thing in my opinion. Also for Donphan as well, he could think that I was a Will-O-Wisp Dragon Dance Zard and know that it would be better for his Zard or his Donphan to be toxic as opposed to burnt from my Charizard. That's all me thinking the best of my opponent. Anyways, like I said, I do click the Scald predicting the Alakazam, as I do not want to Toxic it, as I said in my prep talk video, and I just re-explained now. Anyways, the following turn, I can click Protect here. Probably my best play. I get Leftovers back as I go into my Fortress, as he doubles into Primarina here. Now, I know I can live one hit. My play here was to Volt Switch. My play here was to Volt Switch, but I actually set up my Toxic Spikes. And this is so important because, like, I explained that in my prep talk so much, and then I didn't follow through in my play. I did not need to get these Toxic Spikes up. These Toxic Spikes are going to hurt me in the long run. I do not need them. I do not need them. Like, the Chestnut and the Primarina can be toxic via Suicune. I do not need to set up Toxic Spikes. My play here was to Volt Switch, or to what's my other move? Gyro Ball, Toxic Spikes, Rapid Spin, Volt Switch, Rock Tomb. My play here was to Volt Switch or Rock Tomb. Obviously, Volt Switch into something like Frost Blast would have been optimal, as I could take the Hidden Power Fire here. I would have been at the same amount of HP, which is fine. I don't care about me losing HP here. I care about the play I made. I don't care how much damage I was doing on this play. I care about the hazard I set up. As you can see, this is paused perfectly here with it saying on screen that I set my fucking Toxic Spikes up. And it makes me so mad because I knew I shouldn't have made this play. and I couldn't take it back. It was like I was in a DS game. That's what it felt like. I didn't realize until right after I clicked it. Well, right after the animation started, and I realized, oh no, I see what's on the ground now. This would have been better as a regular spike. But yeah, so my play there was the Volt Switch, and I misplayed. Here he's going to be able to 2-hit KO me with Hidden Power Fire, so I'm going to switch out into my Suicune, thinking that he is locked into Hidden Power Fire. And I'm going to double out here into Frostlass, predicting him to go out into his Chestnut or his Alakazam, but I get neither and have to click my Thunderbolt here. But I do get valuable information that he is not choice locked. So I'm able to get off a little bit of chip damage there with the Thunderbolt, and I can go into Suicune here knowing he has nothing to hit me with, and I can throw off a Scald or Mirror Coat and reveal my set, which I do, which I should have went for here on the Alakazam, as he got a PBF drop again, but I get a crit, which didn't really matter, as you'll see in the long run. His Alakazam didn't need but 1% the whole match because it didn't have a sash and it don't have sturdy or anything, and it has Magic Guard to block it from poison. As you can see, it's running through my team right now because he's Choice Scarfed. He's Choice Scarfed. So Choice Scarf Alakazam coming through clutch there. He's not stopping here though, folks. Going for my Stunfisk as well. But as I said in the prep talk video, Stunfisk is a god. You see how much damage he's taking from Psychic from an Alakazam that's potentially modest Alakazam? Anyways, now I got my rocks up and Toxic Spikes, and even though it's not the best position for me, I'm still in an okay position. And then I get critical hit. I love this game. A miss, a special attack drop, a miss, a special attack drop. I got a meaningless crit on my side, and everything that's happened to me is very meaningful. The first toxic dodge was important. The second toxic dodge was important. Both of the special attack drops were important. The flame body burn was important. And now this crit on my Stunfisk sucks. Okay, so let's see what we can do with it. Suicune can 1v1 this thing. Has to be able to. My play is to click Protect here anyway. Get my HP back. No matter what, that was my play. Even if he goes into Chestnut, it's still my play. He can click whatever he wants here. My play is to Scald, predicting him to Leech Seed or set up a Spike or something. He does Leech Seed, so this is actually really good for me. Now I'm going to switch into my Charizard, predicting the Grass type move. Potentially a double Leech Seed. He goes for the Poison Jab, so I'm like, okay, what the fuck? He can't hit my Suicune. He probably can't hit my Zard if that's the move he went for. So I'm just going to go into Zard here. I could have set up, but I didn't want to be hit with like a Rock Tomb or something and get my speed lowered, and it'd be meaningless anyway. And I don't need speed to win. Alright, so here, I knocked out the Chestnut clean with the Flare Blitz. And now Charizard is up against Donphan. And the Donphan comes in on rocks and Toxic Spikes and becomes poisoned. And this is where the turn 10 misplay, I think it was turn 10 or 11, I set up Toxic Spikes, and it allows this Donphan to be toxic, and I can't Will-O-Wisp him, meaning I can't burn him and half his attack stat. So just look at this damage he's doing to my Charizard. I roost, he does 64%, right? Think about that. Half of 64 is 32. Now, I'm not saying that was a high roll or a low roll yet, because you'll see in a minute. But if I could half his attack, I know he couldn't do over half to me. Even with like high rolls, he cannot do over half if I burn him. So my play would be to burn him here, roost up, roost up until I'm, until I'm above half. He does, until I'm really high, he does less than half, and then I roost up to full, and then he starts attacking that way. Well, I dragon dance, but eventually I'll be in a position to dragon dance as well, and then just win the game with flare blitz, even with the Primarina on field. It wouldn't take but one dragon dance for everything, but I would like to get two, just in case the Primarina is kind of bulky. So my play would be to Will-O-Wisp, roost, eventually be in a position to dragon dance. I would dragon dance, roost, dragon dance, roost, and then I'd be in a position to start clicking flare blitz. Flare blitz off on the Donphan, flare blitz off on the Mega Aggron, flare blitz off on the Primarina. And even if I don't kill everything, Suicune can finish the game. So, unfortunately, I do not even get the chance to burn him, and he is poisoned. I will click roost here and roost off the damage, as he can only do 64% to me. As you can see here, he does 64 again, so that's probably like an average roll. And here you're gonna see he gets a 73% roll, knocks out my Charizard. So Suicune's all alone, less than half, and this game's pretty much over. I can't really do anything except hope my opponent misplays. I click protect here, just to get a little bit of HP back. Now I have to click Scald because it would be very stupid to click anything else and let Donphan get a free attack off on me. The Aggron comes in here. Maybe should have went into Primarina first. As you'll see, he does have a move that can actually hit me, and he should have went into Primarina first and see how much damage he could have got. Potentially 2-hit KO me. But I am going to go for the Scald here. I get a critical hit and a burn. Now, he goes for Earthquake, so you can see he can't do any damage to me. So I'm actually going to be able to 1v1 this Aggron with or without that burn, with Scald and Protect. I 100% always 4-hit KO before, and he can't really do any damage to me. Even if that was no burn, he would be doing twice the amount of damage, and it's still doing nothing, especially in conjunction with Protect and Leftovers, etc., etc. So Suicune could have eventually got back to full, like I said in the beginning of the match, if I would have gotten in a position to get back to like 40% and then face the Aggron. Scald has a 30% chance to burn. I do think it was justice for the way I was treated in this game by the Hex Gods, but I do think that my opponent should have went into Primarina and clicked Energy Ball twice before he actually tried to go into Mega Aggron. And I'm going to be able to pick up the Mirror Coat kill here and make sure that Suicune gets the kill over the Fortress, getting it out of the Toxic Spikes. And yeah, so it's going to be a good game to Spazzy Plat. It was really fun to prep for, and theoretically fun to play. I guess if all of our moves hit, there was no crits, no burns, and no misses, then it would have been a lot funner, obviously. But I guess some adversity in the match like that, is good for some excitement. It definitely made the game very interesting, coming down to a 1-0 like that with Suicune pulling through. And yeah, that's it. Not much else to say. I've already played my Week 5 and Week 6 match. Next up's going to be that Mad Bryn 16, coach of the Lacunus Lucarios. So look forward to playing you, buddy. Good game to Spazzy Plat and the Friday Harbor Zangoose. And I'll see you guys next time. Let me know what you thought in the comment sections. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.